Kimberly, I really sat down with what it is that Republicans are asking for, and a lot of it has to do with entitlements, adding additional work requirements to get something like SNAP or like Medicaid. When you have progressives, 60, I mean, it's a sizable number, saying to the president, invoke the 14th Amendment, which is ordinarily seen as a pretty obscure option, what are the politics at play there?
Well, exactly what you laid out. They are seeing these negotiations that they don't think should be a part of this debt limit discussion. That's things that we talk about with the budget. That's things that we talk about when setting our priorities. But by Republicans always putting this on the debt limit, and certainly right now when it's at the most precarious.
Putting it on the debt limit when they have a Democratic president.
Correct. And putting it in the most precarious situation ever. You see progressives saying, look, no, we will put everything on the table on the other side, including invoking this amendment, something that isn't done and could be tied up in courts for years. It's just both sides digging in where their positions are, hoping that in the middle we get some sort of deal that at least in the short term keeps us from defaulting on our debts. But that just sort of highlights the priorities of both of these sides. One side wants to tank this and potentially the president along with it. The other side wants to protect the things that they don't think should be a part of the discussion.
And there are extreme consequences to tanking it. I mean, we're talking about the fact that we have now seen steady economic growth. You're looking at, instead of jobs numbers increasing, there being a backslide into the millions. So the stakes here incredibly high. I asked during commercial break who wanted to explain the legal perilous nature of the 14th Amendment. There were not a lot of raised hands, so Barbara goes to you.
Yeah, they told me I had a hole in my sleeve, and when I raised it to look, they called on me in class. The language of the 14th Amendment says the validity of the national debt shall not be questioned. And so there's an argument here that just says, like, there is no such thing as a debt limit. And because the president has a duty to take care that the laws be faithfully executed, there's a legal argument that the president could just say, no, you can't say there's no debt limit. Like, we should just keep paying our bills. That's what we do. But I think the concern that Kim suggested is that it's not settled law. This is not, as you said, it's obscure. And so the concern is there would be a legal challenge. And in some ways, having this tied up in courts might be even worse than defaulting, because it would last for a long time. So it's kind of the same thing. I think probably politically the best thing to do is to try to reach some sort of negotiated agreement. But, it's a card that President Biden can hold and can play and can offer. It's maybe to get some leverage.